What's good? It's Hellberg Soups, and I'll stand in the right spot. Today I'm trying a new format, and I'm actually going to show you how the sausage is made, but for visuals. So no meat, no casings, only visuals. We're going to start, and I'm promoting an event that I'm doing on Monday. So Monday evening, that's the 30th, Virtual Memory 6. Some of these that have checked out my stuff before might know that Virtual Memory 5 happened in February, back when shows still happened at the very cool FTG space in Santa Ana. So I linked up with Pacific Plaza Records, and they're also local to Orange County, doing very cool things in Santa Ana and Fullerton, and they brought me out with Vertivision to do visuals, and it was a really cool time, very aesthetic. Lots of overlap in terms of like influence and things they're into and all that good stuff. So that was a really cool connection, and we just kept it going. And they asked me, "Hey, would you like to perform at Virtual Memory 6, which was going to be back at the Continental Room in Fullerton?" And then they said, "Yeah, let's do it." And it sounded like a really good time. And then what happened? Oh, all the craziness came up, and then everything got canceled, and we said, hey, I think we could do a backup plan. I've been streaming for a little while, and I have worked with other shows to kind of help them pivot to kind of do the streaming thing instead of just like, oh no, we're canceled, we're going to reschedule in October or something like that. It's just like, well, everyone's bored right now, we're all at home, so why don't we pivot this one to a stream? And so I was doing some other ones with Contingency Fest, that's what we called it, and some other events, and I'm talking to some other events in the future that could be really cool. But for Monday, check out the Vaporwave Live. So it'll be live in the sense that it'll be playback of DJ mixes from all the acts that were going to be on the lineup before, and then I'll be doing live visuals like the ones that you see in the picture, and I don't know where I'm pointing. Behind me, to check everything out. So it should be a really cool format. You can just throw it up on a screen or on your phone and just kind of chill out, and hopefully some escape from all the craziness that's going on. So right now I'm starting with Data Girl, and I'll bring the Data Girl logo up right here. Boom. So I made this one, and then I guess if we're just kind of talking about stuff. So this one, it's really interesting with these sort of shows. There aren't a lot of graphic assets sometimes, or it's not possible to get them by the time the event happens. So a lot of time I just kind of make them up, and so sometimes there's existing logos and sometimes there's not. So it's kind of fun just because to play with text and to figure out a way that looks good and just kind of resembles what they've got going on. So I've got that going here, and right now there's none of the sort of audio reactivity that I have, but if I bump that up, you can start to see some of these squiggles and things, and it has on everything. So it kind of, that's like strangely a gel that kind of ties everything together. And then I kind of blend that in and out, and I have an alternate one right here, and you can kind of see it gets a little bit drowned out by all the, what is this patch called? This is the Dynamical Flame. That sounds pretty cool. So the Dynamical Flame right now is kind of washing everything out, but sometimes that works, right? Sometimes if you're just trying to be subtle about that, sometimes you're trying to kind of hit it hard. It depends. And then the other cool secret sauce that I have is in the back here. Is there a way I can bypass? I think so. If I do this, yeah. So this is an actual clip that I have, minus the distressing. I'll turn that down. And then this is going through and sending everything over, and when we pull that back up, it looks like this. So it's actually being sent into that as a video input, and then all the kind of crazy flames and things are happening on that. So I could switch it up, and if I wanted to go to something, here's a good one, instead. And again, just to show you, does that work? Cool. So that's just the loop that I'm sending out, and then it's going to turn into that. So very, very, very subtle. I kind of like the one with the more sort of like humanoid outlet. I think that's pretty cool. Lots of cool colors and things like that, especially when it comes and goes and kind of goes on a loop. So it's all these different sort of interesting pairings and things. And I like my other secret sauce, I guess you could call it, is a bunch of shaders. So I have them over here, and I like to kind of start with these because the really cool thing about them, and I think over here, let me just shift this other microphone right here. So I've got my machine set up, and right now you can see most of these are red, and then the two on the bottom are green. So the two on the bottom are actually sending out to, and I'll show you the screen in a second, this visual app called Synesthesia. And that one, when it goes out, it you can kind of see these different effects that are happening on it. So I really like this because this is what we're used to, right? And I'll bring in the audio track, or I'll turn off the filter on it in just a second, and then you can kind of see how everything kind of lines up. So I have more of an ability to kind of play on top of it, which is fun. And then whenever I want to go back to the main look, it's and so that is why I really like these, in that I can kind of boom, 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 you know, kind of get things going on top, and then always land back there. And I always have a kind of place to come back to home. And so with that, I like to just kind of check out some different ones. Depending on the shader, some of them are kind of optimized for the way I'm running them, and they can take the video inputs, and others aren't. Some take audio and they react to that, like this one does. Others don't. But it's not super complicated on the technical side. It's doing all these like fascinating things with the shaders. It's more about like, does it fit the vibe for whoever, you know, I'm doing visuals for. So in this one, I kind of listened to a bunch of the Data Girl music, including this track. This is, by the way, Uh-Oh. Sample goes Uh-Oh. And so just kind of vibe it out and to think like what makes sense. So just here's some that I have kind of going on. This one, a lot of these I think are like, they weren't even intended, they're just kind of exercises in shader, but like they're very aesthetic, and I just love kind of the simplicity of them, but then not all of them react to this sort of function. Because then this way, you just it's really nice to be able to play that. It makes it a lot more immersive. Hey! I got a... I don't know, it's rendering kind of funny. But damn, Randall, I see your comment, and I thank you for checking this out. So next up, we've got this one, which I really like. It's called Infinite City, and it's just a cityscape that goes on forever. It feels very much like Tokyo, if I were to kind of put it in a place, but like, I just love the sprawl of it. And so then on this one, it's really kind of neat because going through the different parameters, you can kind of get these different vantage points, and on a track like this. Just something to kind of check it out like that. This one is called GPU Melter, and depending on, remember, I was kind of showing you that source that's being sent into it, it can get really sort of glitchy and saturated, and just bringing everything up. With that cool logo I was talking about before, you know, just kind of the push and pull of like the everything in the back being really distressed and messed up, and it looks like someone dropped a monitor and plugged something back in, and then the kind of like really tight sort of digital sheen on top. Is something that's really fun. And of course with that, putting up a little bit more of the effect, or a lot of the effect, to kind of, you know, wash it out on top, depending on the level, right? It just kind of ties everything together. So that could definitely be a look, and since I like that, then what I do is, and here is when I'll open this up, let me go into my fancy Resolume settings. I'm gonna switch this over, and then I want to show you what I'm doing in Synesthesia. Here we are. So this is this weird sort of thing where I believe the window is going to this one behind me. I don't have a way to pull it. Pull it up. Welcome to fixing display outputs with All Hell Breaks Loose. How's everyone doing today? And so the reason we're listening to the same track over and over and over is so that we can get a better sense of kind of the artist, and then in this case, actually to like take that and kind of get a feel for that. And so by looping over and over is kind of one way to do that, but it can get kind of aggravating as a listener. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it seems you can kind of see what I'm poking around. So over here in Synesthesia, I mentioned I did have these different sort of shaders, right? And so that one we're checking out, and when I really like one, then I want to kind of bump it to the top, and I'm going to make kind of a look out of it. So in this case, we're going to go Edit, and then down on GPU Melter. I'm going to move that to 1, and that goes to the top of the list. So that's all I want to do with that. Take it out of edit mode, go back into perform. So this will be the first one here. And then over in Resolume, which let's see if I can share this too. Can. Alright. So over here, then I am going to bring this one in and bring it in over NDI because it's a really small one right there. And I'm going to save that one right there and even take a screenshot of it. So we do that, it takes a screenshot of it so I know what that looks like. I don't need anything here, just gonna move it there for now. And then I do like when this kind of lands on top. So if I do that, it's just saved, right? Simply just that, and then sending that. And then I can save this if I want. So now every time I pull up column 1, they'll come back to this look. So now if we go through and we make a different look for column 2, let's say we'll take the logo off, right? And then now let's go back to Synesthesia and let's find another look and kind of build off of that. So let's say this one, right? Infinite City. So now instead of making it 3, we're going to make Infinite City 2.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
And it's number 2. Oh wait, did not do it. Infinite City is 3. Oops, Infinite City is 1 now. Okay, Infinite City is 2. Alright, so Infinite City is 2. Go over here, back to Resolume. We're going to go over to this one. We'll take this. If we do that, it'll trace. If we do this, it'll add. Oops. Control, drop it in there. And then now we'll take a new screenshot. We got this one. Let's add in some lines on top. So this is a black and white mask that I have, and then I have something colorful just like this. And so what's going to do is on top, we'll add the black and white mask. You can kind of see that shape right there. So we have then these 2 sort of layers, one black and white mask, and then the other one, just the cityscapes and things. And then if I want, this is still active, right? So I can still go through that. So let me just show you these 2, and then how I can kind of jam between them, just the simple looks. So now another thing that I can add is I have a lot of, last time I actually made a bunch of assets in Blender. So I could go over those. So I got a cassette, a phone, a column. I really like the column. But in this case, right, with the Cityscape, I kind of like... I mean, all these transitions are such random, which sometimes they really hit, and sometimes like... I kind of like the... I like the phone. I like the phone. It evokes a sort of like... I don't know, like a weird sense of just kind of waiting there. Like, you're in this sprawling, like
Isn't it nice to
sprawl
have a
of just
computer
apartment
that
buildings,
will
like as
talk
far as
to
the eye can
you?
see, right? They're never ending, clearly, from all these different angles, they're never ending. And then this phone, right? And then an identifier as simple as like a phone number gives you a way to like find somebody, right? That needle in the haystack. And like, I don't know, it's a technology that's kind of remarkable, right? That a phone can do that, even if like all you have now. And it kind of feels like, you know, when we're all stuck at home, it's just like we're all at home and we still have these little tiny threads out to each other, right? Like, you know, people out there are checking out what I'm doing right now, which is awesome. And there's just that little thread of connection, right? You're listening to the story and you're thinking, oh yeah, that kind of feels like me. That sort of evokes this sort of unsettlingness maybe that I have. And that phone, right? And especially since there's actually the sample in the track, it all just kind of comes together on that. So now the next question is, so this thing is cool, but do I keep it there or do I take it out? 'Cause if I take it out and we just have kind of phone and that's pretty powerful too, right? Kind of like that. Now next question, right? The phone right now, so we've got these, there's not a lot of change in color in the different settings here, right? So of course we could change that on the phone. Right now the white kind of works, but I just want to see what the tinting would do. So in Resolume, I won't show you this, it's not super exciting. But I will drag a tint effect onto the phone, right? Just to kind of make it, oop. So now we've got like Taco Bell phone. Not a big fan of that, but if I go up here, I've got like some different options. And if I did that, that's too much. So I did like a white and gray, which gave it, I think I like it in reverse. Kind of give it like a different amount of shadow. And then the blend mode, so then there's an opacity on here too. So maybe I could go, what was this one? Oh, so it was too bright. Yeah, and then blend that in. So this is, oh, this is normal phone. We got a lot of shadow. And that one, it's kind of like we flipped it that way. That way. Yeah, we can kind of almost use it like as a highlight tool, which is unexpected. I thought I was going to add a lot more color to this, but I think I like it where it is there. I feel good about that. So again, when we have that, then we're just going to move off these assets. And then very quickly, we can, from here, and is my camera working cool? This is working. Yeah, it did work. Alright, so what we did is we then shifted over to the very end. Whoops. Wrong way. Okay, so we're on this one. Oh yeah, the tape. We put the tape there. Maybe my thing isn't working. Let me take a look.
Isn't
let
it
me
nice to
grab
have a
Synesthesia. I
computer
need
that
to
will
check some
talk to
settings
you?
in here. It's not playing, but I'm trying to get it to play. Cool. So that works. I can advance it in Resolume, but then Resolume was also supposed to send out MIDI to. Maybe I don't think I like the tape. I'm gonna take the tape out. So this one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's not happening. So I thought I was slick, and I set up MIDI out, but it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, you know what? I think I need a third. So I'm not a huge fan of the way that Windows does MIDI, but I think I found a workaround.
Uh-oh.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
a technical problem, but I got started on two sort of basic looks and tinting, and just kind of demonstrating that. So thanks very much for sticking around, and I'll have some more stuff up, and you should definitely check out the stream with all four of the acts on Monday 7 p.m. Here. It'll be on Twitch, so please check that out, and thanks for hanging out. Until next time, later. All hell breaks loose.